Miss.
Fucking traitor. No, get out of my face.
Can we ask you about that?
Get out of my face.
Go ahead, tell me what you think.
You get your hands off me, please.
Little Kamala's America! Yeah!
Yo, zig how this.
Trump and Vance can sashay away. No dictators in the USA.
Huge shout out to our friends over at Riser United for sponsoring this video.
Here outside of Madison Square Garden.
No dictators in the USA.
Already.
I want you to take a step back.
Hey, how you doing, Kamala? It's Kamala Harris.
What's going on with all your supporters out here?
I love him so much. It's so beautiful. Little Kamala's America!
Trump is a liar.
Trump's gonna make America great again!
Let's go, DJT! You know what I see? I see a sea of future Trump supporters.
This is joy. You're experiencing joy right here, the Kamala joy. Everyone and everything I don't like is a loser, is a fascist, is a racist, is a Nazi. So if you're voting for Donald Trump, you're racist.
I agree, you're supporting racism, therefore you're a racist.
I'm voting for Donald Trump. Does that make me racist?
That makes you racist.
Interesting. I don't feel racist.
You don't have to feel it.
Yeah, well, I would say not only do I not feel racist, I'm not racist.
You are racist. You're supporting
who is a racist.
Oh, interesting.
And it will have a major impact on the country.
You have a choice.
How is Donald Trump racist?
Really?
Really? Come
You
on.
know this already.
You kick the guys out of
It's
the...
rhetorical. It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer.
No, please answer me.
That's the real question.
It's a real accusation.
Then you already know the facts.
Hold on, sir.
You know the facts. Go ahead. You want to
Oh
answer?
yeah, hop in.
I'm just
Well,
curious.
it's three. All right, 3 versus 1.
They don't know
No,
facts.
it's not 3
Right now,
versus
they don't
1.
know facts.
I'm the guy I'm very objective here. I believe that all of this is a circus. The Republicans are liars and the Democrats are soft.
A lot of people agree with you.
I believe that we have a two-party system,
Okay.
and it's a terrible choice because what happens is what we've seen the last 8 years. What happens is if you're on the right and I'm on the left or vice versa, and you're not happy with where you are, there's a high chance you're not going to the other side. So what do? You go to the fringes or the extreme wings of that side. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing extremism in real time.
What are our thoughts about jailing political opposition?
Can sashay away.
What do you think about jailing political opposition?
In the USA. Trump and Vance can sashay away.
This is good. How you guys doing?
In the USA.
What are your thoughts about all the Trump supporters here?
Can sashay away.
What was that?
I said, please don't talk to them. Keep chanting.
Why is
Dictators
that?
don't like free speech, though, right?
Dictators don't like free speech, don't they?
Free speech. You have a right to free speech. Help yourself.
What's extremist about Donald Trump?
Really? You already know
I
the
think
answers to
extremes about
that.
his
Ask a real
ideology.
question.
That's the
know
second
answer.
question, and
seem
that
really smart
you've
and
ignored.
educated. So you're very smart. You already know the answer.
You're obviously
But you know-
intelligent
but you know
yourself.
the answer.
Answer
So
the
let's
question
talk
if you
about
like.
something
Can I
other than what
answer
we
that?
already know. You already know the facts. You don't need me to answer those facts for you.
Please,
No,
tell me.
I don't know,
What's
please. You
extremist?
don't have
What's
to
an
pick.
extremist position?
You already
Can I
know
answer
that. You already know that.
Okay.
Right? And you support it, which is why you're voting for it. Because if you don't know his positions, then the question would be
unable
why
to
would you
answer.
vote
How about
for
you,
it?
sir?
Let's put back to you. Why are you not voting for Kamala? Why are you not voting for Kamala?
I would say censorship under this administration, flooding the country with 10 million plus illegal immigrants, a bunch of issues, yeah.
Oh, wait, those are not good issues, my friend.
Oh, really? Setting up a disinformation governance board, a ministry of truth under this administration?
Who voted down the immigration law? The Republicans.
Oh, you're talking about one the last few months ago? The Senate bill.
Could have something to talk about.
Who voted down as HR 2 1 year before?
Because the story doesn't make sense.
No, he doesn't.
Right?
He is
He
here.
doesn't know. He wants to deal in
Wait,
falsehoods.
did you go to college?
So what's your excuse the last 3.5
How
years?
many of these people went to college?
Do you mind if I ask you, what's your excuse the last 3.5 years? Well, you mentioned the Senate bill, 3.5 years in. What's your excuse the 3.5 years before?
Why even debate?
I don't have an excuse.
No, this is
So
baby.
what, they just left the border open for 3.5 years, and then now it's Trump's fault because that Senate bill didn't move forward, that didn't shut down the bill,
That bill was
shut down the border.
That bill
Very
was
interesting.
shut down 3.5 years ago by the Republicans.
3.5 years ago?
It's been shut down every time by the Republicans. This is not a new thing.
No, that's so that bill that you're talking about. You said under Biden-Harris administration it was shut down. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's not correct.
It is.
Oh, see,
It happened.
Wait. You know these facts, but not all the other ones you just asked about. Huh? You have nothing to remember about Trump.
You don't answer anything, so I had to. He was talking to me about some stuff.
And I'm married to him, so guess what? That's how I get to speak for him.
That's great.
So get in line. Yeah. So listen. So
wait,
you
what
don't
was the last question that we avoided?
But you don't. We're not
avoiding. Right. Donald Trump. Hold on. Let's pick up where we left off. Donald Trump.
What is our next make?
What's radical? What's a radical position of his?
You don't remember, do you?
Christian nationalism.
He's never been radical.
Who?
Trump. He's never been radical.
Christian nationalism.
Okay, so you don't think he's radical?
Oh no, I don't think he's radical.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I thought you said that he has radical positions.
I'm talking to you because I really want to pray for you.
Okay, well, you can pray for me. I absolutely welcome that.
Grab women by the pussy. I keep Jesus.
Didn't you mention you were gay?
It's like, listen, this is a beautiful country without all of that. There's room for all of us to exist as we've done for years and centuries.
I'm rejecting the hatred of this administration, the Biden-Harris administration. I'm rejecting the hatred. I'm rejecting I'm rejecting, yeah, absolutely, sir.
It's comedic. Hatred is when you call people shithole countries. Hate is when you grab women by the pussy. Hate is when you call everyone who doesn't believe in you
they let you grab them, by the way.
Fascist. So remember, hate is what Trump looks like.
I would argue that this administration has more involved.
No. This is not an either or.
Do you mind if I say something?
No. You're interviewing me.
Do you mind if I say something like that?
I say something.
Oh, please.
So wait, now we can interview you. Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
Get your hands off me, please.
Well, you guys, with our country becoming more and more polarized and brands pushing an anti-American agenda, we have to remember our foundation and what makes our country so great. The American flag represents our rights, our freedoms, and the ultimate sacrifice others paid for those freedoms. And while idiots are running around burning our flag, Riser United is at the front of the culture war promoting patriotism. Inspired by the US and its rich history, Riser United stands for the unwavering gratitude for America, the creation of community, and the support of our veterans and first responders. Riser United is a premium men's and women's apparel brand championing the rights, liberties, and freedoms that make America so great. From their signature quarter zip to polos to dress shirts and more, Riser United's men's and women's apparel is possibly the nicest fabric you'll ever wear. I'm wearing their Own It tee right now, and you guys, it really doesn't get much better than this. Plus, this shirt is made in America. Riser United brings supreme craftsmanship and endless creativity to their clothing, all while being insanely comfortable. There's no better time than now to throw out those t-shirts and jackets made by companies that hate you and the values you stand for. Celebrate and support the flag as our true north by going to riserunited.com/Klug, and when you go to riserunited.com/Klug, you'll save 20% off on your first order. Again, you guys, that is riserunited.com/Klug for 20% off. And remember, when you make a purchase, you're also directly helping me and my team create more content. So thank you all for doing that. Let's get back to this video.
What are your thoughts about Donald Trump? Madison Square Garden, a lot of Trump supporters here.
See how late he is at this one. Like he missed with the Joe Rogan interview. He's made his people wait 4 or 5 hours, and then he's just got no energy. And he's just full of
no energy?
No energy.
Wait, you think he has less energy than Joe Biden?
Joe Biden isn't running for president.
I know, but I'm just curious. Do you think he has more energy than Joe Biden, or you think that...
Because his energy is shattered. He can't focus on anything. He can't complete a sentence. So, Biden at least can do that.
Oh, interesting. This guy right here, he's a Trump supporter. What are your thoughts about that?
Good for him.
Good for him.
Do you notice the average age of this demonstration seems to be significantly older?
That's part of this group. We're called Rise and Resist, and they're made up mainly of seniors. Isn't that nice that seniors feel free to participate in the body politic?
Well, I don't know. It seems a little unfair that this generation is going to leave the country in such disastrous hands under the Biden administration,
the Kamala
administration.
So deluded.
Why?
Because the way you already saying it, in bad hands.
Let's
see, in the first 2 years, he did the CHIP Act. He did the Reduction Act. Tell me who has done that in 2 years in the last 50 years. The only thing your guy did was a tax cut for the rich. The only thing he did.
Wait, tax cut for the rich. Why do you say tax cut for the rich?
That's the only thing he did.
Do you mind if I reply to that?
No,
tax cuts as well.
Can I respond to that?
80% of it went to the rich, and it created...
Middle class did get tax cuts under the tax
Every tax bracket had increased money under that. Real net worth for lower class families was 40% higher.
It was for the wealthy and international corporations. 80%. 80% went.
The highest tax bracket actually did not get tax cuts.
Look at the debt that he added to. He created the biggest debt increase in history.
2 years after the CHIP Act and the IRA, only 1% of that funding has actually gone where it's supposed to.
Because guess how long it takes to roll out those kind of acts? And they are now working because the money is rolling out. Look at the bridges and roads being reproduced. I know that goes against your storyline, but that's the fact.
And there's no central database for even seeing where that money is going.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a good luck with your fascist rally over there.
Look at this guy. Look at this.
Go do your own thing. Go with the Nazis on the other side.
Go with the who?
Go with the Nazis on the other side of the street.
The Nazis? There's black people over there, Hispanics, white people.
You don't need to take these people.
Wait, is this the joy that we've been talking about, calling your political opposition Nazis and trying to jail?
Nazis over there right now. Yeah.
I'm not experiencing a bunch of joy right here.
And that's why you like it.
Nazi is right across the street.
That's not what a Nazi is. You're crazy. Look at these crazy
You got a
signs.
Nazi hat on right now.
This is a Trump hat. I don't know if you can see from your mask.
Trump is a Nazi. Let's
No, he's
go.
not.
Let's go.
No, he's not.
They don't want to.
Neither do I. We're on the same side.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have more in common with fascism than Donald Trump.
Oh, that's the biggest lie I've heard today.
Why is that a lie?
Because Trump is the one who's repeating everything that is fascism.
Joe Biden is the greatest centralizer of the federal power in American history.
Trump is trying to make himself king. Give me a fucking break.
This administration has much more in common with authoritarianism than Donald Trump's administration.
Questions, buddy. Let's ask you the questions. What do you remember?
I'm sorry, about what? What are you talking about?
About the things that Trump has done and said. What do you remember?
I'm not going to argue your point for you.
I'm not arguing. No, this is the same thing you're trying to get me to do.
Well,
So,
I
like,
want
I'm telling
you made a statement. I would love for you to elaborate. I'm not going to elaborate for your argument.
No. But I'm asking you a question.
This doesn't make any sense.
No, well, it totally doesn't make sense, which is why you're voting for Trump.
No.
right?
No.
So
What you're saying doesn't make sense to me.
I'm keeping prayer, man. My
Thank you
kids
very
are
much.
older.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank
No, you don't.
You are so deluded.
It seems like more of a fear-mongering
I
message.
don't listen to your saying.
I look at what they do. I look at what they do.
I do too. And I saw what Trump did when he was president, ripping children from their parents at the border.
That was already a policy before Donald Trump.
That was an Obama-era policy.
No, it's not. And he ended that by executive order in 2018.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Are you all right?
I'm fine now.
We're just having some fun.
That's all right.
No, they're just repeating the lies and expecting me to go along
then you
with
don't
it.
have to talk
I
about
don't.
That's
We
true.
just want to dream big again.
We want to dream big.
I think you're gonna have wet dreams.
We want to get rid of the hatred, and we want to experience joy, and that's why we're voting for Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Apparently,
Oh,
I'm not
this is
old
joy?
enough.
Yeah, this is joy. Look at this smile.
Yeah, Zig Heil this. Yeah, right. That's
Lock up your political opposition. So much joy. Thank you, sir.
No dictators in the USA. Trump and Vance can sashay away. No dictators in the USA.
I'm a Trump supporter, so I just wanted to check out the other side.
I want to know your thoughts. As a Trump supporter, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's fantastic. He's coming to Madison Square Garden. It's the, I don't know if he'll win New York, but it's fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of people who think like us.
We're going Donald Trump. Do you mind if I ask you why?
Because Kamala is a waste of time.
Fair enough. You guys New Yorkers?
I'm from Florida.
You're from Florida. What about you,
I'm
miss?
a New Yorker, and I'm an immigrant. I know better. I know. I loved him in 2016, loved him in 2020, and it's about time that he actually gets back in office.
For sure.
Like, enough.
Okay, so are you seeing this among your friend groups in New York? I mean, you're obviously, this position is a little bit controversial for New York, I feel like. Perhaps I'm wrong.
No, it is very controversial. We saw like a few cars earlier and was towards Times Square, and it was the first time that I've ever seen liberal tears live, just because somebody saw Trump flags.
Yeah, we literally
But
watched
it was
cry.
insane. But
Wow. Did you collect some of the tears?
I wish we would have. I think I could have sold them for a lot of money on
a
eBay.
lot of money, but it was beautiful to see. And I think it's about time that everybody stopped talking about their effing feelings. No one cares. This is America.
Yeah.
So it's all about policy. It's about actually getting a strong leader in office. And I could care less about your joy. No one cares.
We're asking
Are
you
these all
Donald
white
Trump or
dudes for
Kamala
Harris?
Harris. Kamala Harris. What about you?
Kamala Harris.
Awesome. Very cool. We are more on the team Trump, actually.
Okay.
Full disclosure. But why are you guys going for Kamala Harris? I mean.
I'm 16. I'm just here to troll. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you're not.
Okay, but I'm actually against Trump. If we're being realistic.
Right. But you're 16. What about you?
I'm 16 too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys don't like Trump, but you thought it'd be even funnier if you wore those hats.
Oh,
yeah,
100%. Do you want it?
I mean, I'm not.
I do appreciate the troll, though.
Yeah, I mean, but also at the same time, it's not really all a troll. Like,
No.
I enjoy
having
conversations with people about policies. I mean, policies, even character. I mean, some people are actually being very respectful. A lot of them are just screaming in my face and then running away when I mention anything that's true.
But you're into politics, and you're 16, and you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
What have you liked over the last 3.5 years, I guess, for Kamala Harris?
I really don't like Trump.
Okay.
But I mean,
But you said you were a policy guy, so.
Kamala Harris isn't really the she's a vice president, right?
Yeah. Heavily involved in this administration. heavily, way more than usual, right? Because I think over the last handful of administrations, you could easily say, well, they don't really do too much. And that's definitely true, although this administration had Kamala Harris front and center for almost the entire presidency. Am I incorrect about that?
No, it's definitely true. I mean, someone's been running the White House, and I think we saw during the debate that it's certainly not Joe Biden, which is why they had to switch him out for Kamala at the last second.
What do you think about that position? You think Joe Biden is mentally he's all there?
Yeah, no, totally. No, I don't think he's there at all. I think they did a pretty good job.
On what?
What do you think they didn't do a good job on?
The border?
I mean, didn't Trump call up his delegates to vote against the biggest border bill in history? So the bipartisan border bill?
Yeah, okay, bipartisan. There's one senator that supported it, but also that's 3.5 years in. They opened the border for the first 3.5 years. What's your excuse for the first 3.5 years? Honestly.
I don't know.
Well, that's a good question to ask yourself, isn't it? Because, convenient that we're now approaching the election, and now it's time to do something, and that bill wouldn't have even stopped the crisis. It's still allowed up to, it's still allowed up to 1.8 million illegals into the country per year.
What's the problem with illegals? What do they do? What do they do?
Unvetted mass migration. They undercut jobs for black and brown communities across the United States because they go for cheap labor. They commit crimes. They do all sorts of stuff.
Increases the price of literally everything.
Were you born in America?
Yes. Car insurance.
You have a higher chance of committing a violent crime than an illegal immigrant.
It's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's true fact.
No, it's not. Anyways, the interesting part about this, because I'll explain to you. Look, I'm not trying to be rude here, right? I'll explain why that's not necessarily true. First of all, they're disproportionately represented in federal crimes, federal drug crimes, all of that. But second of all, when it comes to illegal immigrants, the reporting is I think it's maybe like half as much as American citizens because illegals tend to live around other illegals, so they don't report crimes, first of all. But second of all, I mean, look at Midtown Manhattan. According to NYPD, 75% of arrests right now are illegal immigrants. 18th Street Gang, one of the most violent gangs in the United States, about 50,000 members strong in California and across the United States. About 80 to 90% of that gang is illegal immigrants. You're talking about crime that's not even supposed to be in the country to begin with. And we're saying, but look at the Americans. Hey, that's not very nice, sir.
He probably doesn't have a house.
Sure. What are some issues that you guys then as younger people think are most important when you go to vote in 9 days, or if you haven't already?
I definitely think some important issues that are being brought up a lot, like between both sides right now, are like the functions of like the woman's body and how people should go about the abortion rights.
Whether it should be for the states or for the country as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's like a big issue that I've seen a lot.
Okay, so you would rather than have it be as a matter of national policy, complete abortion access, as opposed to Trump's position, which is just leave it up to the states?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to people who are incapable of moving out of the states they were born in. Who are stuck in positions, because like I have family who agrees with Trump on this, and they always tell me like just move out of the state if you don't like it, but that's not everybody's situation. You can't.
Accessible if the state decides.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't want abortions, don't get an abortion.
And do you think it should be up to the states? You think it's federal?
I wholeheartedly agree with that position. At least right now, when it comes to people have the right to vote within their on a local level in their own states. I don't believe in taking away that right to vote on those policies, right?
But what about things like slavery? Wasn't the whole point of the Civil War was states' rights? Was the state's right to have slaves, so they could vote to have slaves?
Okay. So you're saying abolish like everything that's voted on the state level because of slavery?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know if we want to make that argument.
Do you think states should have the right to vote?
What do you think about that argument, John?
You think states should have the right to vote to have slaves?
No.
Well, slavery is unconstitutional. There's no right to have an abortion in the Constitution, which we just discovered once again.
What's wrong with
2 years
abortion?
ago.
What's wrong with abortion?
I mean, abortion. What I think is wrong with abortion, because is it first of all, let's back up really quick. Is it on the ballot? No. So we're motivated. Is that a reason to be motivated for Harris if it's not even on the ballot right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you believe that abortion's on the ballot right now?
No, but I believe that whoever we're electing down the line, it does affect it. Trump is able to, as we saw, pick who is on the Supreme Court and stuff like that. That went into the decision of Roe v. Wade. And going forward, there's going to be more Supreme Court justices that need to be picked, and whoever's the president you know.
Are we single issue on this, or is it a bunch of reasons, or is that it? Is that the only reason why we're supporting Harris over Donald Trump? And there's no shame in necessarily having a single issue vote. A lot of people do that.
Right.
For you guys, what is it?
I'd say it's the most important issue to me, not the only one.
I think what's happened is Democrats have used that because it gets people very emotional to talk about an issue that, quite honestly, Trump isn't taking any stance on other than the stance he's had the last how many years, saying states' rights, that's how it should be. I think that's pretty reasonable. We don't need to have a full conversation about it necessarily because it's irrelevant for this election.
That's what the Confederates said about slavery. They said states' rights, that's how it should be.
Slavery was unconstitutional, though.
Okay, I think people should have the right to have an abortion.
Okay. I mean, you can't be like, oh, it's a constitutional right.
People die, and, you know, like, mothers are dying in states that don't have the right to have an abortion. Like,
do you have an example of that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen the mothers dying?
Not like IRL.
Not IRL.
I know I'm not like well equipped enough to have proper like discussion arguments on it. But I know watching Trump rallies, watching interviews with Trump, most of the time I'm not agreeing with what he's saying.
And Trump's a convicted felon.
I don't know if I would say the convicted felon thing is a big issue. I mean, you use the word felon and it sort of invokes very scary imagery, but it was just like business improprieties. The abortion thing I could maybe sympathize with, you know, as a woman, somebody wants to be pro-choice, but even then I would say that the way the country's going with the border being open, the way the economy's going, I don't know if I would prioritize that being an issue, especially when, like you said, I mean, states can still provide it if by majority they want to vote for that, but even states that have had the option to haven't really enacted, you know, total bans. They've tried and they've failed. So it seems to be reflecting the will of the people in individual states, which I'm okay with.
I think honestly also a big reason why I'd vote for Kamala is the kind of people who are also voting.
Miss.
Traitor. No, get out of my face.
Can we ask you about that?
Out of my face.
Trying to help send a message that Trump is a threat to our democracy.
He's a fascist.
Why do you think he's a threat to the democracy? What are your thoughts?
Because he openly says that he's going to be a dictator and that he's above the law.
Stop.
What? Wait, you came back? I didn't come to you. You came back to me. Thanks for your time. You walked back to me. I've been here the whole time. In your guts, you know he's nuts. Is he nuts?
Absolutely not.
That's the kind of America that they want, where everybody's brainwashed, has no voice, and they can dictate to you what to do. That's not a government. That's not America. That's not democracy.
Believe it if
Nazis. You're gonna believe it.
Everyone, you don't like the Nazis.
Yeah, he said on day one he wants to be a dictator. He's a criminal.
Soft liberals, bro. Soft liberals. Trust me.
Kamala Harris makes me want to vomit. Okay.
We want around the world.
Run, he's an idiot. What are you about?
After 4 rejections. All right. Excuse me, Ava, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?